We have seen how the VISUS methodology provides a methodology for revision inspection that aims at provide the decision makers with the elements of information for defining safety upgrading strategies on a large numbers of learning facilities. The outcomes of the VISUS methodology are based on science evaluation approaches and are based on a multi-hazard approach that consider a multitude of hazards and we will see that we consider multiple aspects concerning safety, not only the safety of the structural elements of the building, but also functional aspects, for example, concerning the possibility to escape from a building in case of an event. The VISUS methodology then is integrated in the CSS framework, and we will see that it is objective as the elements of information are acquired by trained surveyors and processed using pre-codified algorithms. Finally, we will see how the VISUS methodology can be simply adapted to different contexts, concerning, for example, consisting of different countries. So, in order to explain how the VISUS methodology works, we will see that it treats multi-hazard, earthquake, water-related, fire, ordinary use, and also biological hazards. It evaluates the safety situation of a large number of learning facilities for the optimization of resource use, and for this aspect we will see in detail the technical triage approach by the methodology in order to do the inspections. Then it takes into account the local characteristics of the country, and we will see how the VISUS methodology can be adapted to specific needs and characteristics of each country. Then the application of the VISUS methodology allows to transfer the knowledge to local personnel. So there is the capacity building, the training of local persons in the country. The informations are acquired through rapid surveys performed by local persons in the country, and the application of the VISUS methodology, the outcomes are obtained by uniform and rapid evaluations that are automated elaborations applied using pre-codified algorithms validated by experts. One element at the basis of the VISUS methodology, and the first important observation, is that VISUS concerns existing schools. Indeed, it is a different problem, the evaluation of new buildings, the risk control for new buildings, and the risk mitigation, the risk reduction for existing buildings. These two problems are completely different problems, since when we consider new buildings, in order to control the risk of new buildings, the decision makers work through the definition of building codes, regulations that define how the building will be constructed in order to resist to specific risks. So there is a proactive control of the risk. On the other hand, considering existing buildings, there is the need to assess the actual situation of each building, and then to prioritize the intervention for all the buildings assessed, because in the case of existing buildings you have a large number of facilities to inspect, and there is the need, as we have previously observed, to prioritize interventions. So the approach consists in the risk reduction. It is not possible to transfer the approach adopted for a new single building for using the building codes and regulations to the risk reduction approach that can be applied to existing buildings. In this second case, in fact, we need the criteria and methods for assessing the situation, and in order to define which one first, why and how. So, when planning a large scale, there is the need to find the right balance between the resources allocated for the assessment and the resources allocated for the final interventions aimed at increasing the safety of the learning facilities. For this reason, there is the need to have a preliminary assessment that provides all the information in order to prioritize as better as possible the final intervention for safety improvements. This preliminary assessment should be as much widespread and effective as possible. That means that it is necessary to identify how to assess the learning facilities, and especially how much is enough to know for defining what is opportune to do. It will be not opportune to acquire a lot of information that provides data that are not useful for this preliminary investigation. This, in fact, would increase the cost for the assessment, reducing the resources for the application of the final intervention and providing few or no additional information for the definition of safety upgrading interventions. We will see this in the next presentations with a special focus on how much is enough to know